right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rachahakadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barak Thumb. It's going to be an in-transit lesson. I'm just driving back from the good old plantation, man. The thing on my spirit today is I'll just title this the infection of pride. All right, you know, the infection of pride. Now, pride is a spiritual thing. All right, and scriptures say it's the beginning of sin, which it is, but it starts at a spiritual level. That's where rebellion starts. Rebellion starts in your spirit, man. All right, and then there are elements of your body that will egg it on. Like your flesh always wants to rebel. Not so much rebel, but your flesh just wants to look out for itself at the expense of what the Most High wants you to do. All right, and that's how you have to look at it. And I liken pride unto an infection. All right, like there's a quote by C.S. Lewis I read earlier. He said, "Pride is a spiritual cancer." All right, and that's very true, because oftentimes you'll hear the term in the Bible called leaven. All right, leaven. Now, leaven is, metaphorically speaking, represents something, a very small amount of something that ain't supposed to be there, like a foreign object, a foreign body. All right. Now, when you have a foreign body in your you have a foreign object in your body, it triggers an immune response. Your body knows when something's not supposed to be there. And so what it'll do, it'll sound the alarm, all right, and your immune system will react, and it'll try to deal with that foreign object and push it out of the body. All right, now the concept of leaven in the Bible is the same thing. It's a tiny bit of a leavening agent that's not naturally in the wheat. All right, it's not natural to the wheat, but when you add a little bit to the wheat, what does it do? It expands it unnaturally. All right, and that's why you get bread that has that more airy, that fluffier feel to it. Okay, and it only takes a little bit to have a big effect. All right, and that's what we have here with pride. That's how pride starts, man. All right, you know, you look at the matter of Judas. Okay, he didn't start out just outright, in open rebellion and betraying the Lord. All right, it started with a little bit of doubt in his mind, a little bit of what if, why can't we do that? The matter of expensive oil that was given to Yahushua and to the apostles. All right, he was like, well, why can't we sell it? That's where it starts and builds up, and that's what America has, man. Okay, America has been infected with pride, and I really can't even say it's infected with pride, because it basically started out that way. In order for you to rebel, all right, or get into a spirit of rebellion, pride is at the forefront of it. All right, and the Most High hates pride, man. Read Proverbs 8. All right, various scriptures, to give you an idea of how the Most High feels about pride. All right, and he reiterates over and over and over again about what's going to happen to the proud. All right, and in 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, he said great miseries are going to come upon this place. Why? Because they walk in great pride. And basically, pride is like an infection. It grows and it grows and it grows, and to the point where you think everything that you do is of you. It basically it goes. When it first happens, it feels like confidence. Okay, but when you get way to the other side of it, it basically grows into delusion. That's the trajectory of pride. It starts feeling like confidence, and then it grows into delusion, man. It's like a drug. All right, it feels good at first. All right, but if you don't deal with it, or if you keep engaging and entertaining it, because pride does happen to us naturally in our flesh, if you keep entertaining it and engaging with it, guess what? it's gonna grow and grow and grow at its own pace, at the expense of the host that it's in. All right, just like a parasite, you know. And one of the things that made me think about this recently was a young woman I talked to. All right, now this this young woman, I didn't know until like a couple of days after like talking to her, you know, on the phone and whatnot. All right, and she basically tells me that she's having kidney failure. All right, that her kidneys are failing. She's on a transplant list, and she got a transplant in 2020 or something like that. But in 2022, her kidney started to fail. Her body started to reject that kidney, and now she's back on the list again to get another kidney. All right, and so she's has to do dialysis 3 times a week, and blah 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 blah. You know, and I'm listening to her. You know, because you know that's what I am. I'm listening to her, and I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with it. And so, you know, we talk. She shares with me her Instagram. I'm looking at it. I didn't look at it too hard the first time. It's the typical, you know, so-called black woman stuff on their Instagram. You know, they all out of order. But then I look further, a day later or so, and then I'm like, oh, this is out of pocket, like even for an average black woman. And so I tell her, I text her, I was like, look, I'm gonna call you later, but I took a deeper look at your Instagram. I was like, it's gonna be a problem for me. And then she was like, well, don't even bother calling me back. And so I was like, see, pride has gripped people, man, to the point where even when the Most High brings them to a low estate, you know, to the lowest of the low, she can't help herself, you know. It's not even, all I can do is just kind of laugh, because, you know, and it's sad at the same time too, because you know that pride is basically infected her into the point where it's the point of no return, man. Like some infections, man, if you wait too late, it ain't nothing you can do, man. Like if you get an infection, a cut on your arm, you got a period of time before you deal with that, man, before you lose that arm, you know. Like you're on the clock. And that's why I wanted to speak about this idea of pride, and why you need to check it while we talk about self-examination, while we talk about you know, spiritual hygiene, man, you know, because you don't want an infection to grow beyond, you know, the point where you have to lose something significant, like one of the members of your body gets lopped off because you didn't want to deal with the infection. All right, and so this young woman, all right, is completely, you know, she's barely bedridden. I didn't know any of this until, you know, a few days talking to her. And it's like the Lord had me interact with her, you know, for that reason, because I think I mastered something with her on the app somewhere months ago, I think, but I didn't talk to her until this week. Basically, you know, pride has her in a stronghold, you know, and you know, in our flesh, the Lord's gonna have to put the anger of the Lord in us, because part of my flesh wants to be sad and feel bad for her, even though she's proud as hell. But at the same time, the Lord is showing, you know, that there's a reason I put her in that situation, you know. And you can't feel bad for these people, man. Pride is a two-way street. Pride is always there. It's in our flesh, all right. But it's always our responsibility to deal with it, you know. Pride is like bacteria, man. It's like bacteria and stuff in your mouth is gonna grow automatically. You know, it's up to us to have maintenance and hygiene to deal with it. You know, that's how pride is. And if you just willfully just decide to neglect that, then you earned it. You basically told the Most High, I side with my flesh and Satan. You know, that's essentially what you're telling the Most High, you know. And this example is typical of all of America, man. Most of these people, they have gotten used to these comforts. They've got used to things or a way of life, all right? Like you go talk to one of your family members that's in the world that still eats pork, or they're in one of those churches, and as easy as it would be to give up pork or do other food that tastes just as good and better than pork, They think, like you said, the most unreasonable thing to them in the world to not eat pork. What you mean I can't eat? Blah, 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 blah. Like it's such a big deal, and that's because they put themselves above the Most High. They put their comforts above the Most High. They think, well, I'm gonna just not keep that law, and the Most High just gonna forgive me. Like this sense of entitlement, man. All right, but if you knew what was coming and what the Lord is justified in doing, you would be doing everything you could to not be on the proverbial naughty list, man. Like we don't know if we gonna make it. And we sacrifice things like our diets and particular things of the world. There's been times where very beautiful women, all out of the blue just wanted to deal with me, but they had a man, and I had to say, no, man, that's adultery. That's a sacrifice to the flesh, but what is it in the spirit? It's an investment in the spirit. Sacrifices in the flesh are investments into the spirit. Okay. And we want to be all in invested spiritually with Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, man. All right. And this is why we tell you to meditate on the dark times that are to come. All right. Like our forefather Esdras did. Okay. The Lord showed him them visions and he got sick. He was like, damn. All right. And it's a dangerous thing, man. Pride is a very, very dangerous thing. And it basically, the reason the scriptures say it's the beginning of sin, because pride is where all rebellion comes from. The idea that you can do things yourself when you really can't. That's where all sin comes from, man. Adultery, all manners of fornication, okay? All of the dietary laws, idolatry. It's basically the gateway to idolatry, man. It's basically self-worship, man, like birthdays and things of that nature, And like an example of this young woman, just her Instagram, me telling her I had a problem with it. She didn't even ask me why I had a problem with it. She was just like, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about texting me then if my Instagram is a problem. I'm like, all right, say less. You say me, I dodged the bullet, which I already in the back of my head. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna deal with this, because she just, she's had demons on her. It's our people, But that should tell you everything you need to know. And the Lord showed me that as an example. I've just been thinking about it for the past couple of days or so, and that's America, man. All right. And you're going to have to witness these things, the Lord bringing your own people down to a lower state. And you can't feel bad for them, man. When the Lord starts jacking people up, these Israelites, you can't feel bad for them. All right. And you got to remember, the Most High knows everybody's heart. He knows your closest family member, your closest friends have not told you everything that they've done, man. They have secrets. They've never told anybody. But guess what? The Most High knows them. All right. So while you thinking he's such a good person, I've known him 15, 20 years, that don't mean he's good with the Lord. And even if he didn't do, egregious things, you don't know how the Lord feels about him. Because at the end of the day, the Lord just has his favorites, and then he has his ones that he hates. All right. And then you got all different gradations in between. But you got to be okay with that, man. All right. And just know that we're all about to get tried in more ways than one, spiritually and physically, man. All right. So I've been kind of going on in a little minute. I'll end it here, Lord willing. This was edifying. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachaha Kodash Shalom. Kwam Yasharal.